Let me tell you something that most people are too embarrassed to admit. Before I figured this out, I was spending roughly 60 hours a week just trying to stay on top of my work. Emails, reports, planning documents, research. It felt like I was drowning in tasks that never ended. I'd wake up exhausted, go to bed even more exhausted, and slowly start to wonder if I was just not cut out for this. And then one afternoon, completely by accident, I typed something into an AI tool that changed everything. Not a complicated thing, not some secret formula that costs thousands of dollars to learn, just a single specific kind of prompt, and within 3 weeks, I had 10 full hours back in my week. Every single week. And I'm not exaggerating. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly what that prompt was, why it works on a psychological and structural level, and how you can apply it starting today regardless of what kind of work you do. But first, I need to show you something that might make you rethink how you've been using AI entirely. Most people use AI like a fancy search engine. They type in a vague question, they get a vague answer, they tweak it a little, they call it done. And honestly, that's like buying a sports car and only ever using it in reverse. The potential is sitting right there in front of you and you're barely scratching the surface of what it can actually do. Here's what nobody tells you. The difference between someone who saves an hour with AI and someone who saves 10 hours isn't the tool, it's the way they talk to it. That's it. That one shift in how you communicate with AI is what separates people who say, yeah, it's kind of helpful sometimes, from people who look like they have a full-time assistant working for them around the clock. If this kind of insight is useful to you, you're going to love what this channel is all about. Here at AI Unlocked Official, we go deep into the real, practical ways artificial intelligence is reshaping how smart people work, create, and get ahead. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps us keep making content like this, and you'll be the first to know every time we drop something new. Now let me back up a little. Because to understand why this one prompt works so well, you need to understand something about how most people approach their workday. Studies on productivity consistently show that the average knowledge worker, someone sitting at a desk dealing with information, communication, and decisions, spends almost half their working time on tasks that could be handled by someone or something else. We're talking about writing the same type of email over and over again, summarizing meetings, drafting outlines, researching topics you'll only use once, reformatting documents, creating reports from data you already have. These are not the things that require your unique intelligence or your specific expertise. These are the things that eat your time and leave you with almost no mental energy for the work that actually matters. Now here's where it gets interesting. When researchers started studying how people use AI assistants in the workplace, they found something surprising. The users who reported the biggest time savings weren't necessarily the most tech-savvy people in the room. They were the people who had learned to give AI what's called a structured context prompt. And that is the key phrase you need to remember. A structured context prompt is not just a question, it is not a command. It is something in between, and it contains 4 specific ingredients that most people never think to include. Imagine you walk into a room and you ask a random stranger to help you write something important. You say, "Hey, write me a report on this." What are they going to give you? Something generic, something that probably misses the point entirely. Now, imagine instead you walk into that same room and you say, "I need a report for my executive team. They care most about cost savings and timeline." The audience already knows the background, so skip the basics. The tone should be confident but not salesy, and I need it in under 400 words. Suddenly, that stranger can actually help you. They know who they're writing for, what matters to that audience, what to leave out, what tone to use, and how long it should be. That's the difference between a bad prompt and a great one. And that structure, audience, priority, exclusion, tone, and length is the skeleton of the prompt that started saving me 10 hours a week. Let me give you the exact format because I want this to be immediately usable for you. The prompt I started using looks something like this. You start by telling the AI who you are and what your role involves. Not your job title, your actual function. What decisions do you make? What problems do you solve? What does your typical output look like? Then you describe the specific task at hand in plain language. Then, and this is the part most people skip, you tell the AI what you do not want. What assumptions should it avoid? What tone is off limits? What length would be too long or too short? And finally, you give it a success condition. What does good look like? How will you know if this output is actually useful? When I started doing this, the difference was immediate. I wasn't getting generic content I had to spend 20 minutes rewriting. I was getting drafts that were 80 or 90% ready to go. And when you multiply that across all the writing and research and planning tasks in a week, you start to see where 10 hours disappears back into your calendar. But here's the thing that surprised me most, and I want to make sure you don't miss this point. The time savings were almost secondary to something else I noticed. My thinking got clearer. Because here's the dirty secret of a structured context prompt. When you actually try to write one, you are forced to get specific about what you want. You have to think about your audience. You have to decide what matters. You have to be clear on what success looks like. And most people, most of the time, have not done that thinking before they sit down to do a task. So they wander through it. They start writing an email and realize halfway through, they don't actually know what outcome they want from it. They begin a report and get lost because they haven't defined the scope. The prompt forces the clarity that most people avoid because thinking is uncomfortable. Let me share a real scenario that might sound familiar to you. One of the most time-consuming things in knowledge work is writing updates, project updates, status reports, stakeholder summaries. These things that nobody really wants to write but everyone needs to read. Before I figured this out, a project update could take me 45 minutes to an hour. I'd stare at the blank page, try to remember what had happened over the last 2 weeks, figure out how to frame it, write it, reread it, edit it, reread it again. And at the end of all that, I'd have something that was fine. Not great, just fine. After I started using structured context prompts, that same update takes me under 10 minutes. I give the AI the context it needs. Here's what the project is. Here's who's reading this. Here's what changed since last time. Here's what we need them to know or decide. Here's the tone. And what comes back is something I actually feel good about sending. That alone probably saves me 2 hours a week just on project communication. And here's what's actually happening under the hood, because I think this is worth understanding if you want to get the most out of it. AI language models are essentially pattern matching engines at an enormous scale. They've been trained on billions of examples of human communication, and they've learned what patterns tend to go together. When you give a vague prompt, you get the average of everything that could possibly relate to that vague topic. But when you give a specific structured prompt, you're essentially narrowing the model down to the patterns that match your exact situation. You're not getting the average, you're getting the relevant. That's why specificity is not just helpful. It's the entire mechanism. The more specific and structured your input, the more targeted and useful your output. Now I want to address something because I know some of you are thinking it. You might be wondering whether this approach only works for writing. Maybe you're not a writer. Maybe your job is mostly in data or operations or customer service or design. Here's the good news. The same logic applies everywhere. Whether you're asking AI to help you analyze information, structure a decision, plan a project, respond to a complaint, summarize a long document, or brainstorm solutions to a problem, the structure of a good prompt works the same way. Audience, priority, exclusion, tone, and success condition. You can adapt those 5 ingredients to almost any kind of task, and the results will consistently outperform what you'd get from a quick, unstructured request. Let me walk you through a few more examples quickly because I want you to leave this video with a mental toolkit you can actually use. Let's say you work in customer support and you need to respond to a difficult customer complaint. Instead of saying, "Write a response to this complaint," try this structure. Tell the AI that you work in customer support for a software company. Explain the specific complaint and what the customer is most frustrated about. Tell the AI the company policy on this issue and what you can actually offer. Tell it that the tone should be empathetic and direct, but not apologetic to the point of admitting fault. And tell it to keep the response under 200 words. What you get back is not a canned, robotic non-answer. It's a genuine, calibrated response that respects the customer and protects the company at the same time. Or let's say you're in a leadership position and you need to prepare for a tough conversation with a team member about performance. Instead of asking AI to help me have a hard conversation, you give it context about the situation, what you want to achieve in the meeting, what the person's likely emotional state might be, what outcomes you want to avoid, and what a successful conversation looks like at the end. Suddenly you have a thoughtful framework, some language options, and you walk into that room feeling prepared instead of anxious. One more, because I think this one is universally useful. Research. Most of us are regularly in situations where we need to learn something quickly so we can make a decision or communicate about it. Before I started doing this, I'd either spend a long time reading or I'd ask a vague question and get a wall of text I'd have to sort through myself. Now I tell the AI exactly what I need to understand, why I need to understand it, what level of detail is right for my situation, what I already know so it doesn't have to cover the basics, and what format would be most useful to me. What comes back is genuinely tailored. It's the explanation I actually needed, not a general encyclopedia entry about a topic. Here's something I want you to sit with for a moment. We're living in a period of genuinely unusual technological change. The tools that are available right now, for free or close to it, would have sounded like science fiction 10 years ago. But having access to a powerful tool and knowing how to use a powerful tool are completely different things. The gap between those two things is where most people get stuck. They try AI, it gives them something mediocre because they gave it a mediocre prompt, and they conclude that AI isn't that useful for their work, and that conclusion costs them. Not just in time, but in competitive advantage. Because while they're spending 60 hours a week on tasks that could take 40, someone else is spending 40 and doing more. The prompt strategy I've been describing today isn't complicated. It doesn't require any technical knowledge. You don't need to code, you don't need to study machine learning, you don't need any subscriptions beyond the basic tools that are already available to you. What it requires is a small shift in how you approach AI, moving from quick, vague requests to intentional, structured ones. That shift takes maybe 15 extra seconds per prompt. And in exchange for those 15 seconds, you get outputs that actually serve you instead of creating more work. I started this video by telling you that one prompt saved me 10 hours a week. But I want to be precise about what I mean by that, because I think the real number is actually higher. I just couldn't believe it at first. The 10 hours is a conservative estimate of the direct time I saved on specific tasks, but there's another category of savings that's harder to measure: the cognitive load I offloaded, the mental energy I stopped spending on figuring out how to start things, how to structure things, how to phrase things. That freed up energy went somewhere. It went into the work that actually moves the needle. The thinking, the strategizing, the creating, the connecting, the parts of work that are genuinely hard to replace with any tool. When you stop exhausting yourself on the wrong things, you have more of yourself left for the right things. And that's not a small thing. That's actually the whole point. So here's where I want to leave you today. The next time you sit down to use an AI tool, and whether that's in an hour or tomorrow morning doesn't matter, try this. Before you type your request, take 30 seconds to add structure to it. Who is the audience? What matters most? What should the AI skip or avoid? What tone is right? What does a good output look like? Just those 5 ingredients. Try it once, compare what you get to what you'd usually get, and see for yourself whether the difference is real. And I want to hear from you because I genuinely find this stuff fascinating. What's the task in your work that eats the most time? The thing you'd give anything to get back a few hours on every week? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and your answer might actually shape what we cover next here at AI Unlocked Official. If this video gave you something useful, share it with someone in your life who's been complaining about being overwhelmed at work. Because sometimes the right information at the right time doesn't just change a workflow, it changes how someone feels about their entire relationship with their work. And that's worth passing along. The future of work isn't going to belong to the people who work the most hours. It's going to belong to the people who figured out how to work with the right tools in the right way. You just learned one of the most important pieces of that puzzle. Now go use it.